Hey everybody, it's the Manosphere here. I'm doing a third video today, and I'm probably going to release a bunch of videos because I recorded probably six, or counting this one, probably six in the last week, and a couple of them are unreleased as we speak too. So just be prepared to see more kind of out of order kind of shit going on in this channel. But I feel like doing a lot of videos lately, so I'm just kind of like, depends on the situation where I I can, make time to do the editing, or which I don't really edit it other than the audio I turn up on my phone. I like push the audio up in the iMovie or whatever and upload it pretty much, or put a filter on it like a lot of women do on Snapchat. But anyway, this is like a funny thing to say. Like, I'm a sexist, homophobic, transphobic, anti-vax, right-wing Republican person who wants to kill everybody because I'm evil. Just kidding. Anyways, I'm none of those things. But anyways, so I'm going to talk today about why do people get into the Manosphere. And when I talk about the Manosphere, I'd say everything from the pickup artist thing to, MGTOW and beyond. So, and why do people get into that? And I'm going to try to quantify, because many people on the left especially, who do these blogs or do these like pontifications upon this kind of thing, will say like, oh my God, this guy is so problematic. Like they won't like go into some of the article. Like it's like what Six X and Hammer calls lie by omission. Like the first half of the article will talk about how problematic they are, and they were, like they're evil and stuff. And then the second half will kind of sympathize with them a little bit. But this is why people get into the Manosphere. One of the reasons I'm going to do I have a series of videos I'm going to be doing on the subject. So the first thing, and this is kind of a controversial statement about, hopefully I won't run out of room. I just deleted a bunch of videos off my phone, but I'm going to try to make this one a little bit more succinct because it's a series of videos, so I can not have to like go all over the place in each video. One of the reasons is because our society has fundamentally changed the last 50, 60 years. And that is how men are raised in this modern society. So I'm all for women's lib, whatever you want to call it. As long as a person chooses to do that, like if they want to do that, or if they want to be a housewife, they should not be criticized. If they want to be more traditional, if they want to be whatever, they don't have to do that either. Just had my battery message. They can do what they want. They should have the choice to do what they want. So I think at the same time, the traditional role of the father in a nuclear, cisgender, situational family has been very much muddled by recent events. And it doesn't mean I think it's like two-parent families are the only one with a male and female and blah, blah, blah. So men's gender roles, men are lost because they don't know how to be with the opposite sex. I'm just talking about, just as a message, talking about cisgendered, normal, red-blooded American males. No, I'm just kidding. I just had to add that as a joke. So I think men are lost, especially in divorced households, especially with bad role models. And I can say like that can run the gamut. So as an example, you can have a father that's like absent and very passive and doesn't really give a shit about a lot of things. And then he's also kind of an idiot with women or whatever, with doing that stuff. And then you can have this like very lopsided thing where there's another male role model that's like totally like hyper masculine and like talks about pussy, quote unquote, and getting laid, and tries to like get you to like flirt with another person your age when you're a kid at a pizza restaurant. When you're 11. It's a true story. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking about myself. It's autobiographical. So you have, and then you have like some other relative's boyfriend that gives you porn at a young age and like all this stuff. So you have all these weird messages, and you have all this anxiety because of the situation with your family or with your, growing up, and you're raised by, whatever. I'm just saying, like, you have these situations. And then not to mention you have your own psychological problems. So with that in mind, I think a lot of men feel lost in all these situations where these changes have happened very fast. Some of the changes were necessary, some of the changes are good, but some of the changes happened so fast they didn't actually look into the other side consequences of it. It's kind of like with certain shots that Justin Bieber might have had with his face freezing, where, they rushed something to market for a reason, but you have to admit that some of these things might be side consequences of what happened, of course, even if the said shot was good overall for mortality or whatever. I'm just saying, Justin Bieber's face might be a result of the what shot, his face freezing or whatever recently. So like I said, the liberation movement might have had a consequence. Of course, things are like a Pandora's box where good things and bad things can come from one thing. So this happened. So men are lost. Men are confused. I mean, sometimes it's like the diet that we eat, the jobs that we have, the schooling that we have, the type of situation nowadays, very coddled minds too. And when we don't have those skills coming up as a person, we can become like an Elliot Rodger or a, Ross Jeffries, I'm not conflating those two things. I'm just saying that this is kind of runs the gamut of what I'm talking about. So we don't know how to deal with our emotions, our mental health, and we have these role models that are confusing role models. We have these ideas that are confusing. So where do we go when we don't have shit straight? We go into these ideas that are niche or fringe or problematic or whatever. This is what happens. And that's kind of one of the things that is the reason why the Manosphere is so huge. Now, the Manosphere has taken way too dark of a turn for me to recommend at this point. I mean, I think some of the stuff is really stupid at this point. I'll talk more about that in future videos. I think some of it's still very beneficial though too, of course. And I have a affinity for, and nostalgia for the old school Manosphere, the pickup artist fucking, whatever stuff. I do. I'll admit it. That's like, I like that stuff way better than MGTOW, Red Pill, Better Bachelor, Incel, all this shit. It's like, shut up, But yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about that in future videos, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why people get into it, is because they lack a clear conception of what they're supposed to be in our modern times. And they go to these other things because they are lost. They don't know how to be a normal person, in a normal sexual being as a man who is heterosexual, cis. They don't know how to be that. They don't know what to do, what to say. So they're lost because all these weird messages or lack of role models or bad role models confuse them. They want to go in this direction, that direction. They don't have a grasp on it. They don't have a centeredness. So these things provide a centeredness. When I read the game, I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Holy shit. This could be a new life for me, a new way of living. It was like reading, it looks like, Neil Strauss was smart to make it look like the Bible with the leather and stuff, but it was like the Bible to me. I could not think about anything else for years. My band broke up. One of my original bands broke up because I was just obsessed with the whole subculture. But yeah, that's one of the reasons, and that's what I think. I will talk about some of the other reasons why I think why the Manosphere appeals to people so much. But that's one big reason, If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know who the role model should be of a man, and you want to look up to men as a kid, this is part of development. I don't care what the woke crowd says. men look up to other men, you know, in this type of situation, the traditional situation. I don't give a fuck what they say. Oh, you can't have gender. Oh, it's all fluid. Oh, well, go fuck yourself. But anyways, that's about all.